Age to top the Australian Conference is in sight for the Waratahs on Sunday when they face overall leaders the Crusaders on Sunday. Head coach Daryl Gibson will be hoping that last season's impressive comeback away to the Rebels can be a catalyst for greater things this season after an unconvincing start. Down 20-0 at the break, the Waratahs leaders finally showed up, and inspired by the work of Michael Hooper and Bernard Foley, what would have been a catastrophic defeat for Gibson, whose future has already been questioned this year, turned into a morale-boosting victory on the road. Even at home, the Crusaders offer a significant step up in challenge. It feels like a lifetime since that jaw-dropping Super Rugby final between these two sides at the same venue, clinched by a swing of Foley's trusty boot. To hand the Crusaders a first defeat of the year, you sense that the Waratahs desperately needed Foley to be available. Instead, rookie fly half Mac Mason gets the nod. Against a very tough opponent, Scott Robertson's squad have taken the injury blows handed to them and continued on their path to the top of the Super Rugby table, which, considering the absence of Kieran Reid, Israel Dagg and Richie Mo'unga, is very impressive. Young backs in George Bridge and Zac Guildford have impressed, but the core of the Crusaders machine lies up front, where having three test locks fighting for two spots in Scott Barrett, Sam Whitelock, and Luke Romano can only be a good thing. Whitelock has shown real leadership during his time as captain before Reid returns, and thanks to the Crusaders' excellent set-piece game, notably their maul, they have a weapon to pick the Waratahs off with time and again on Sunday. With a bye on the horizon, the Crusaders can aim to put their feet up for a week with 6 wins from 6. Win in Sydney and they will look like serious contenders. The last time these teams met, last year's meeting in Christchurch, was a one-way affair as the Crusaders cruised to a 29-10 win over the Waratahs. A fast start inspired by Johnny McNicholl saw the hosts open up a 12-0 lead. Despite Rob Horne's score, the Crusaders went in ahead 22-5 at the break thanks to a third try from Richie Mo'unga. Jordan Taufua crossed next for the Crusaders, countered by a consolation score from Zac Guildford, as the Crusaders won comfortably, albeit without a bonus point. Players to watch: Taufua Politano's move to the west of Australia has opened the door for Latu this year, and how the hooker has taken his chance. The main positive out of the Waratahs' disappointing start to the campaign: Latu has won 12 turnovers so far this season, the equal most of any player, and 8 more than Crusaders' best Sam Whitelock. 4. His line-out work will need to be excellent for the Waratahs to have a chance. New Zealand are far from lacking back row candidates, but Jordan Taufua has done his hopes no harm thus far in 2017, with a number of impressive workmanlike efforts for the Crusaders on their unbeaten run. Operating at either flanker or number 8, Taufua can either bury himself into the breakdown or steal the show, carrying in attack or delivering big hits in defense. Such promising all-round talent, he can have a major say on Sunday. Team news: Waratahs boss Daryl Gibson has named his side, with Mac Mason set to make his Super Rugby debut when he steps into the number 10 jersey with Bernard Foley ruled out. Mason was one of the standout players, part of the Australian U.S.A side in 2016 that went on to claim victory against New Zealand. Further changes will see Rio Olympian Cam Clark starting at fullback, with Israel Folau moving back into the centres, as Rob Horne has been ruled out due to a low-grade hamstring injury. Meanwhile, Crusaders head coach Scott Robertson has made 4 changes, including 2 positional switches. Joe Moody returns to the starting lineup to start at loose head prop, with Wyatt Crockett covering on the bench. Scott Barrett, who had a successful outing on the blindside flank in last weekend's win over the Western Force in Christchurch, moves back into his more familiar position of lock alongside Sam Whitelock, with Luke Romano in the reserves. Jordan Taufua shifts to 6 and Watu Douglas returns at number 8. The back line is unchanged. Form: the Crusaders have won 12 of their last 14 games against the Waratahs, L2, though the New South Wales side's 2 wins in that run have come in the last 3 meetings between the teams. The spoils are split at 4 wins apiece between these clubs in their last 8 meetings in New South Wales, with the average winning margin across those games coming in at just 4 points per game. The Crusaders have won on their last 4 visits to Australia. The last time they enjoyed a longer streak was a club best 5 straight wins from 1999 to 2000. Prediction: the form book doesn't lie heading into this one. Despite a spirited showing from the Waratahs, the Crusaders should make it 6 in a row. Crusaders by 8. Previous results: 2016, Crusaders won 29-10 in Christchurch. 2015, Waratahs won 32-22 in Sydney. 2014, Waratahs won 33-32 in Sydney. Final: 2013, Crusaders won 23-22 in Christchurch. 2012, Crusaders won 37-33 in Sydney. 2011, Crusaders won 33-18 in Nelson. 2010, Crusaders won 20-13 in Christchurch. 2009, Crusaders won 17-13 in Sydney. The teams: Waratahs 15 Cam Clark, 14 Reece Robinson, 13 Israel Folau, 12 David Horwitz, 11 Andrew Kellaway, 10 Mac Mason, 9 Jake Gordon, 8 Jed Holloway, 7 Michael Hooper, C, 6 Ned Hannigan, 5 Will Skelton, 4 Dean Mumm, 3 Seacope Capye, 2 Latu, 1 Tom Robertson. Replacements: 16 Damian Fitzpatrick, 17 Paddy Ryan, 18 David Lalahia, 19 David McDouling, 20 Michael Wells, 21 Nick Phipps, 22 Ire Simone, 23 Takely Nayeravora. Crusaders 15 David Havilai, 14 Dig Digby Ioan, 13 Tim Bateman, 12 Ryan Crotty, 11 George Bridge, 10 Mitchell Hunt, 9 Mitchell Drummond, 8 Watu Douglas, 7 Matt Todd, 6 Jordan Taufua, 5 Sam Whitelock, c. 4 Scott Barrett, 3 Owen Franks, 2 Cody Taylor, 1 Joe Moody. Replacements, 16 Ben Funnell, 17 Wyatt Crockett, 18 Michael Ailalato, 19 Luke Romano, 20 Pete Samu, 21 Bryn Hall, 22 Marty McKenzie, 23 Manassa Matale. Date, Sunday, April 2nd. Venue, Allianz Park, Sydney. Kickoff, 16:05 local, 6:05 GMT. Referee, Marius van der Westhuizen, South Africa. Assistant referees, Will Houston, Australia, Ed Mardant, Australia, TMO, George Ayoub, Australia.